Okay, we're in Warm Springs, Georgia, Roosevelt's little White House. Hey, come on over here and look at this marker. So he was a member of the Masonic fraternity, Masonic Lodge, president from 1933 to 1945. Built this cottage in 1932, the year before he became president of the United States. First came to Warm Springs in 1924 in hopes of recovering from the effects of polio. So we'll learn more about it, but we've got this historical marker. You can read about it online even. It's hot. So we're right in here, Little White House, and Atlanta's up here. So when we finish, we'll get back on 85, then go back up to Greenville to Asheville, but Little White House. And down here is where my brother Miles lives. And our home in Alabama is right over here. Here's a bust of FDR and a timeline of his life. That's pretty significant. What if we did something like this for Dad at the bank? That'd be kind of nice, right? This is wonderful. Thank you.
Have you been before?
As a child, I was here. In fact, my dad and stepmom brought my family here. We had a nice time at Callaway Gardens and came here. And but for my wife, it's her first time. Last year, I see a few things. This is Kate. Well, this is in Warm Springs in 1924. See him swimming. So we had the first effects of polio. Was here for therapy at that time.
That he was in the brotherhood of death. Are you familiar with that document?
And this home was completed in 1932.
Was it displayed in the old museum?
Here's a birthday party of the Warm Springs Foundation. Same year that he passes the Social Security Act. There he is. And this is his mother. And she died, it looks like in 1941 or 2. He died in 1946. But this is really interesting. In 1943, he met with the big three. Who was that, Kate? Stalin and Churchill. So they met 2 times. They first met in Tehran, Iran, and then they met at Yalta in the Soviet Union. And then the third time, by that time he was already dead, and it was Harry S. Truman, President Truman, who met with him. And look at his family. And then in 1955, significant, Dr. Jonas Salk announced the discovery of a vaccine. And so now, Mr. Roosevelt drinking Starbucks. FDR, one of our greatest presidents. Hey. Look at his inauguration. See if I recognize anyone else. I guess I would. Okay, here's a polio victim here. How he's greeting them, I assume, here in Warm Springs. Very interesting. And look at, I love seeing this. We saw the JFK family tree. Step back and look at this. And if I can get the details, we'll show you how they've got that. Wouldn't that be interesting if I could put something like this on my wall at home? And just keep on the video of that, Kate. And you can also show the furniture. I'll read this part. That this is patio furniture. That was a gift from his mother. And he loved to sit on his deck overlooking the woods, and he worked and did various things. And this is one of the pictures where he was often signing official documents and do work. But this is actual patio furniture right here, where you have coffee. It's amazing, right? Mm-hmm. If Dad would like this, video this part.
Okay, sir.
Okay, video this saddle. I'm looking for the information on it. I guess it has to be FDRs. This was a gift to him from a leader in Africa. Okay, they said that in the video we just watched that he had the hand controls because he didn't have use of his legs, but he designed the hand controls for the cars. He designed it himself. Pretty amazing. But he also, this was designed specifically for him, and he was, it says he was part of the team that helped design this particular wheelchair. And this is not an example. This isn't one that he wore, but there was a brace shop here at Warm Springs that would make the braces for people who had polio. Dan, this is for you. We talked about doing those fireside chats in Asheville at the new Bohemian Hotel near the Biltmore House. This is what we do. We piped in via old radio into people's homes, and you and I would do those fireside chat debates. So when you come back to Asheville, you better be on your game. But I want you to get the little statue right there. But what's amazing is this is an actual picture of the freedom fighter who was in Serbia, and he was someone in defiance, surrounded by German officers. It has a noose around his neck. They're getting ready to hang him, and even then he fights back, fights for freedom. So I just thought that's quite fascinating. That even though death is imminent, he's fighting against the Germans. That's amazing, isn't it? You may do it. I'm hoping that the FDR Foundation here, that they will give me a few of these that I can use as walking sticks when I go hiking in Asheville. The DuPont Forest. I may bring one back for Tracy. I'm assuming that many of these were also just gifts that were given to him by world leaders and people who met with him. Oh, yeah, it says that. And so there are various ones: Indian chief, George Washington, horses, snakes. Anyway, apparently he didn't use all of these. I've always told Kate that Alabama is the #1 state in the whole country, and sure enough, at the flag walk here, Flag and Stones of America, we've got the beautiful Alabama flag. Look, Kate, the stone is a white marble, which interestingly enough is the marble I think that's used at the entrance of the Headland National Bank. White marble of Alabama, the shape of the state. I guess that would be Montgomery, the capital, right here, Kate. Montgomery. Headland is down here. You can sort of back up some, Kate. Headland is right here, this corner. Birmingham is up here. Mobile is down in this area. This is where Andy lives. And Huntsville up here where Jeff lives, this part. Oh, and Auburn. Gotta say that. So, Kate, did you get all the, just look at the flags of all 50 states. But again, Alabama reigns supreme. Look over there. It's just, maybe I should raise that and redo it and wash that flag. It's kind of dirty looking. Look at the fountain behind us, Kate. Probably built by hands of Alabamian workers. Come on. So here's the little White House. It indeed is little. We got our entrance over there to the right. You see the circular drive where he pulled through. And right behind us, we've got what they call servants' quarters on both sides. You see that little property?
And a guest house here.
And a guest house. Guest house, okay. Of course, it'll be impressive on the other side with the enter over there. Let's get the video of this rock and plaque. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, President of the United States, died in this house on April the 12th, 1945. No soldier gave more on any battlefield than he who here gave his life for his country. No greater martyr ever served. I just messed that up. I can't read that clearly. Anyway, video that, Kate. I got the words all jumbled up. You got it on video, right? I can't, but I sound like Mark when I'm reading. Come on. Is it on or off?
Yeah, it's on.
The way they have that, and you don't have commas in there, it didn't even sound right. Look at the grounds. The security thing that where they set up a perimeter and to keep him safe, part of the Secret Service, I guess, at that time. And he made 41 trips in all to Warm Springs. All right, Kate.
And his bodyguard built that one from scrap material.
And
Left over
they
after
built
this house was built.
Okay, wow.
They picked up
So
some
he
of those
built
scrap
that
wood
boat
and built
and
that
his
ship.
bodyguard, okay.
He and his bodyguard, Earl Miller.
Do you know how long it took them to do that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's interesting.
Because this house was built before he was the president of the United States.
Oh yeah.
He was still the governor of
32,
New York.
yeah, 1932.
He became president later on in the year after he had moved in here.
We were in New York last year up there near his Hyde Park family residence. This is where FDR was sitting. Of course, you don't have to worry about the little thing at the chair. He was sitting there when the Russian artist was painting his portrait. And she didn't complete. It's called Unfinished Portrait,
Yeah.
and it's in the Legacy Museum.
She put it up and never touched it again. And then the following year, she came back using her memory and photographs, and she did a finished portrait.
Okay, and that's
So
also in the
both of
Legacy.
those,
Okay.
She did it. She did it in 2 different color ties because the unfinished portrait, the necktie is red, and the finished portrait, the necktie is blue.
Okay. And where
So
did
she did that.
President's bedroom? You want to come by? You can go around. Sure. Hi. Welcome to Warm Springs. Okay, so you got this is his bedroom. He was carried to this room after he collapsed. He was in that chair that we know you don't have to point with it. After he collapsed, he was brought here at 3:35 and pronounced dead. So he was pronounced dead at 3:35, and then his body was taken to Washington, D.C. the very next day on April 13th, 1945. And he's buried in Hyde Park, New York in the Rose Garden. Okay, this is his desk. Okay, and be sure to get this. This is a roach that was here that same day. Look, get down here. No. That was here the same time. Around they preserve everything exactly the way it was. Okay. Okay, this is the back thing. And because he had a wheelchair, right? Had to see the rays. That's what I need something like that now myself. That's this tub. It's a little short, I think. And the Charmin or Scott toilet paper, which looks like you could probably make a good paper airplane out of that. And sink here where he washed his hands. We'll get down in here. And this is Eleanor's bedroom, his wife's bedroom, when she would visit with him. She was not here when he actually died. And these are 2 beds. There are 2 beds in Eleanor's room. She did not visit often, but his children did, and so they would use this room. Did you get any of the walls? Can you get any of the sort of pine? I guess that's pine.
Well, this is long leaf yellow pine. That's what this house is built on.
Yeah. Okay, this is mulberry paper. Very similar to what they have in Thailand, right? The batik. What do you call that paper? And this was a gift from the side paper, a gift from the governor of Hawaiian territory back then. This tapa cloth was presented to FDR, so it's very similar to what you see in Asia, Bangkok, Thailand. Found that there. Okay, look at the dog, Fala was stuffed after she died. She's over here. This is really Fala. Yeah, be careful. This is a real dog.
How did you come in?
And the scratches, they say, are from Fala. There's a scratch.
Through the back door, through
When
the
she
kitchen.
tried to get out, she had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Look over here, Kate.
But I didn't see the butler's pantry.
Kate, that table we saw a second ago, there it is out on the veranda. This is the servants' quarters above, but below you have where he would park his cars. In fact, we'll go in there. I think one's in the right little area, but to the left is an opening for his roadster, 1940 roadster. Pan back around to the right and see the home. Warm Springs, Georgia. And this is the Village Roadster. Wow, is this the one driving in the film, Kate? You saw? He drive this around?
Nice.
No, that one had a front and back seat that we saw. So this is a different one. So it was custom built for him by a company in Toledo, Ohio. Presented to him on his 58th birthday. Dad got the Ford Ranger last night. Look what FDR got back in his day. This car was used by the president's staff and later driven by the Georgia Warm Springs Foundation. So it's quite fascinating. Gonna get me, baby, you can drive my car.
That's unreal. Not today.
And as you can see, this is the unfinished portrait painted by the Russian artist. You can see how it's unfinished, but she came back and completed the portrait. So there's a second one. That's the completed version, the finished portrait. We'll find it in a moment. Oh, here. So this is what she was intending to paint right here. So she came back, and with photographs and her memory, she completed the portrait. But he was actually sitting for that first portrait when he had the cerebral brain hemorrhage and died. So this would have been what it would have looked like. But she came back. Her name was Madame Shumatov, a Russian lady. So this is a flag that was flying over the home when he died, and then it was placed on his coffin. Back up, Kate, and then the coffin was loaded onto a train the next day, and the body was sent back to Washington. This is part of American history, Kate. Warm Springs treatment pools are 1 mile from the home, Little White House. And so we're going to enter these, and they have tours here, but the pools themselves are drained, but you still can go out here and look at them. They've got pictures and exhibits. Looks like there's a golf course next to it. Yeah, get way back, Kenny, so you can see. Are you recording now?
Mm-hmm.
Is it shaking and jerking? And this is just the side. We're trying to gain entrance to this place. Is it open? Way down there? Okay. Yeah, that was locked. Hard to open? Okay, so this is built, looks almost like a stable, like one of the czars of Russia. Stables. And the pool is inside. Come on, Kate. Woo. Yeah. Thank you. It did have a lot.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, wow, okay. We'll put us down for 2 tickets, and a model of the pools. Of course, we've seen all kinds of video. Look at the grounds back in that day, 1928. Was his family influential in helping fund this? Okay. She didn't hear me. All right, look up there. He first came here in 1924. But it looks like they had a resort here in the 1890s, long before he came here. So these warm springs were already here. Obviously, the springs were here, but I didn't know if he actually. It does say vacationers started coming here more after he arrived. These are the various stones and things and quarries, and you know what I'm trying to say. It's hot. I can barely think right now. Look at this view, Kate, out here. Looks like the old Headland City Pool. It does, Kate. You don't know what the city pool head will look like. Hey, let's just keep it. Let's get on through more of these. And this is sort of a scary look to me, but I guess they'd sleep on these beds slanted. I don't know if the head was up there and the feet were down here, or vice versa. I'm not sure. I guess if I took the time to read the exhibits, I would know. Look at this chamber of some kind. This looks like Michael Jackson's oxygen chamber. No. He really he was in that in order to stay young. in the end, it didn't happen. Here's another. This is like one of those torture chamber tables. And I'm kidding. Huh? What are you doing? This is, look and see the chamber being used, the tables, children going through rehabilitation in the pools, and therapists working with them. So this is his legacy, this pool therapy, and Warm Springs Institute for Rehabilitation is one of his legacies. And look at the condition of this place, Kate, at one time. Look at that. But fortunately, it's been preserved, and at one time it reopened, and now they've drained it, but you can
The water feels cool. It's good.
It does?
Yeah.
Cold spring instead of warm spring.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'm on a pilgrimage going to the Ganges River in India looking for miracle cures and things. Here we go. Looking for, we have the video of this water. Look, this is how they would feel. I'm not going to get up on that table, Kate. I'm not going to do that. Let me feel it first.
What's that at the edge before you are?
Here, video me. Oh wow. That is unbelievable, Kate.
I'm not going to do that.
Let me get you one. You haven't done anything with you today.
No.
Not that cold like you.
It is so hot. It has to at least be 90 degrees out here. Kate, be sure to get my cap over there, okay? Are you ready to go?
Yeah. You have to go this way.
I'm taking that back and used as a massage table in Asheville.
You have to wear your hat.
And Kate can sit there to oversee me being massaged. Kate, can you cut that off, please?